Welcome to the Exam Room Podcast, brought to you by the Physicians Committee. Hi, I'm the weight loss champion, Chuck Carroll. Thank you so very much for watching and downloading in more than 150 countries around the world and making the Exam Room one of the most consumed nutrition podcasts anywhere on the planet today. Ordinarily, we are a very family-friendly, G-rated type of show, but today we're going to be talking about the F word. We're dropping F-bomb after F-bomb after F-bomb. Get your bleeps ready, ladies and gentlemen. With us is nurse, the founder of Evolution Health and the Green Globe podcast, Kylie Buckner, making your debut on the show. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Such a fan, and I just really appreciate being here and having the opportunity, so thank you.
I'm a fan of yours, Kylie.
Thank you.
I'm a fan of yours. Anybody that's like, hey, I want to come on your show and talk about F-bombs and my favorite F word, I was like, okay, let's do this thing.
Yeah.
We should probably say what your favorite F word is first, though.
My favorite F word is fiber.
Oh.
I know.
We don't have to bleep that one. All right. No, fiber's a good thing. That's a good
one.
word.
Yeah,
that's
it's a
not
safe one.
It could be considered a dirty word, seeing as though what the end result of fiber is.
Depending on which part you're looking at it, which way you're looking at it.
The end of fiber.
Right.
The end of fiber. So you're a nurse. You've seen a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Just give us the 10,000-foot view, because I'm sure somebody saw the, catchy title, My Favorite F Word. They saw your picture. They're like, oh, what's this lady talking about? Why is fiber your favorite word from a health standpoint?
From a health standpoint, fiber has the ultimate benefits. It's benefiting our body at every system, at every cellular level. And from the gut health perspective, to reduction of cancer risk, reduction of cardiovascular risk. It just is the word that can connect all of these different topics in nutrition, in my opinion, because it is found in plant foods and it's an easy step into a plant-based approach, as a dietary strategy.
I would think that, attracting people to a healthier lifestyle by saying, hey, we're going to be dropping F-bombs, that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, totally.
I think that, like the F-bomb diet would be awesome, right?
That actually sounds really cool. Yes.
Yeah, the F-bomb.
Yes, the F-bomb diet.
You heard it here first.
That's right.
The F-bomb diet.
Yes.
Yeah. How many grams of fiber do you recommend?
Well, the recommendations right now by the American Dietary Association is 25 grams per day.
Seems low.
It's low. It's very low. And the nice thing about fiber is there is no real upper limit. We aim for a minimum of 75 to 100 grams a day, just as a matter of course, which is very easy to achieve when you're eating a diverse diet of many different plant foods, right? So it's not a difficult thing when you're looking at that type of a thing. The challenge is when you're maybe not paying as close of attention to your dietary strategy and you think, oh, I eat a healthy diet. This is one of the things I hear from my clients all the time. I eat this healthy diet, and we'll kind of do a deep dive and look into, okay, well, where's your fiber coming from? And that's where, when you really start to look at that, what I call, I like to refer to it as a I like to refer to it as a macronutrient.
There it is. There it is.
Macronutrient, as opposed to the other like micronutrients that we eat, because when we start to focus in more clearly on that nutrient, it becomes very clear where our diet is stronger in whole foods and fruits and vegetables, which are then attached to all of those micronutrients, like the minerals, the vitamins, water, phytochemicals, all the things that are also helping to support our cells and our body as a whole. So it's kind of it strings together so many principles in nutrition as far as how to get the foods, these nutrients into our body.
All right, let's go back to something that you said first. You said we like to get 75 grams. Who is we?
We is my family.
Okay.
In our family, in our house, we do measure our dietary intake on fiber. So my husband is Cyrus Kambata, and Cyrus. He has been plant-based since 2002, I believe.
Yeah.
We've been combined. We have over 30 years of experience as plant-based eaters,
right.
And we are raising our 3-year-old daughter Indigo, and so she's been plant-based since pre-birth for many, 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 many years, if you think of it that way, and she understands that the food that we eat is rich in fiber and is dense in nutrients. So when we talk about eating a quote unquote vegan diet, that's easy for her to understand right now.
Yep.
But what we talk about is what she's getting from her food. And when she's eating mangoes, for example, we show her like the fibers of the mango and how they are rich in fiber and they're going to fuel her gut and her microbiome. And even at 3, for her to understand that these foods are really valuable for her and they're helping her thrive and do the things that she loves doing, like riding her scooter and, swimming in the pool. She can swim for hours a day. I mean, she has endless energy. And for us to start having these conversations with someone who's 3 and explaining these things has really helped me to actually even understand better myself why we are doing what we do and why we choose the foods that we choose.
Yeah. I think there are like a couple of F words that I would use to describe your kid. Funny, for sure. I mean, this girl is like just unbelievably hysterical. And I really do hope that she eventually gets up on stage and starts telling jokes. She's a ham. I know this is a plant-based podcast, but she is a total ham.
She's the only ham allowed on this podcast.
Yeah, right. And then F, full of energy. I mean, just endless. Energizer bunny, going and going and going, just like you were saying, man.
Yeah.
Man, and friendly. There's a third one.
Friendly.
I don't think that she's met anybody she doesn't like.
Nope, not yet. Yeah, it's true. She's really opened up this past year, especially. She's going to be 4 soon, but you're right. She's very easygoing, easy to travel with. Like we have a really fun time with her. She's fun. Super cute. Another F1. She's fun.
Yeah.
Funny and fun.
All right. So for people trying to introduce more fiber to their diet, there's something. I was shopping at a local health store up in the DC area, and one of the people working there was talking to my wife about this probiotic soda that had some fiber in it. And I was like, I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical. That seems a bit like gaming the system. Are you familiar with these sodas, these probiotic fiber-filled sodas?
I didn't know about the fiber. I know about like probiotic.
Yeah.
Soda. I didn't know about the fiber-rich ones, but now I'm curious.
Yeah.
I really want to go see that.
I don't want to drop the name of it,
Yeah.
But I'm a little skeptical here. It seems like Metamucil just carbonated. That sounds
like what that sounds like to me too.
Yeah.
Like they just added in some fiber powder to call it a healthy drink or healthier drink. I don't know about the absorption of that, right? I mean, we've got, it really comes down to what we're able to absorb and what our bodies are intended to take on. So, for example, our digestive system is really good at pulling nutrients along the digestive system as the fiber basically holds the nutrients in as we're eating. So we start by chewing our food and really, making it into something that we can swallow. And then as our stomach moves our food along into the small intestine, there's certain nutrients that start coming out along the way. And the fiber is kind of there the whole way through, making its way to the large intestine. So the bulk of the fiber is really one of the things that gives us the most benefit in adding fiber into our bodies. So that's the fiber that's going to come from your whole foods and your plant, your plant sources, because it's already built in with all of those other nutrients and they get absorbed in the right proportion at the right times because our bodies are so smart. They know exactly what to do with it. So we start talking about adding powders, adding additives, and again, I would hope that there would be no added sugar and something like that. But if there's added sugar, that can also compromise the quality of the other ingredients. So, I would definitely think twice about that too. Like I'm very curious about it. Like how are they adding it? Where are they getting the fiber from? And just adding fiber to add fiber, to me, I really love having the variety of fiber on my plate that I can experience and enjoy. Right. And that's where you're going to really get the full experience, right? Again, just from the chewing all the way through to the other side.
You mentioned added sugar. Does that inhibit the absorption of certain nutrients, fiber included there? Or is it sugar's effect is primarily on the brain and the nervous system? Talk to us about that.
Such a good question. So sugar definitely has its effect on the brain and the nervous system, but it's also highly inflammatory. It gets as sugar breaks down, it breaks down really, really quickly inside your system because it's not bound to fiber. So for example, when you think about table sugar or raw sugar, right? That's not something that most people don't really, especially in our plant-based audience wouldn't think that adding, scoops of sugar to something would be a very healthy choice, let's say. But when we consume sugar, that glucose gets absorbed very, very quickly because it's not bound to fiber. Okay,
Right.
so compared to eating an apple, let's say, you eat an apple, you've got fiber attached to the glucose molecules. So it takes longer for that glucose to actually enter into your bloodstream because it's working its way through the system with the fiber intact. When you're eating something that has sugar in it, that glucose is going to absorb into your bloodstream faster, and as a result could cause elevated blood glucose levels, can cause increased insulin levels, and that can then lead on to a host of other issues within your body. And if you're already living with something like diabetes, for example, if you already have elevated blood glucose, adding sugar compared to like what comes from fruit, which is fructose, if you're adding sugar, that's going to cause more blood glucose challenges for you and elevations compared to something that's attached to fiber.
Is it more detrimental for somebody with type 1 or type 2 diabetes if they were to consume added sugar, that refined sugar? So like your husband versus somebody with type 2 diabetes.
The difference with somebody with type 1 versus type 2 is that if you're living with type 1 diabetes, you actually have your insulin in your pocket to adjust if you need to.
Right.
The adverse reaction of having elevated blood glucose at any time, there's always sort of down the stream complications of that. That can cause inflammation. It can cause, we're going to be talking about mitochondrial damage. High blood glucose leads to damage within your cells and potential complications from that anyway. But let's say somebody is eating sugar and they're living with type 1 diabetes, they're monitoring their blood glucose pretty closely and they can then adjust for it with using their injectable insulin. So they have a little bit more, let's say, control over the after effect of that in some way.
Right on.
Compared to somebody with type 2 diabetes who doesn't have that same arsenal of tools, if they're taking, like, even if you're taking an oral glucose medication or, once your blood glucose goes up, I always say hyperglycemia begets hyperglycemia. So if you're already hyperglycemic or having high blood glucose, and then you eat something with sugar in it, and now you have higher blood glucose, it's going to be even harder to continue to bring it down. You need a lot of exercise, a lot of water, possibly some fasting. You don't have the same tools if you have type 2 diabetes, unless you also have a prescription for insulin.
Right.
Which some people do. Yeah. So I'd say it really, either way, sugar itself will cause elevations in blood glucose and challenges for anybody living with diabetes.
Right.
It's a matter of what you have to kind of counterbalance that on the other side. Yeah. That makes a difference.
I know, like, we're supposed to be talking about fiber, but now I want to ask more questions about sugar.
Yeah.
So I feel like personally, I have become more sensitive to sugar, added sugar, since I took that out of my diet. Case in point, 2 summers ago, I made the mistake of not questioning what was in a, quote, natural smoothie that is at a chain restaurant, a salad place, I thought I was going to die. Like, my body went into shock, like legit cold sweats, just freaking out type of what the heck. Why? How? How do we become so sensitive to it? Like, or is that like natural? And like we build up a tolerance to it over time because it's in so many of our foods.
Yeah. Well, it is a good question of like which came first, right?
Yeah.
Because again, from our generation, like we're about the same age, like growing up when we were kids, that's when these really refined and ultra processed foods started to come onto the market in the 80s, 70s, 70s, 80s, I'd say was when they first started to come onto the market. So we started getting introduced to some of these more refined foods at that point. And then it just kept getting bigger and more and worse. And then they started changing the names of all these refined sugar products, right? Nowadays, you see things like organic cane sugar or, organic date syrup. And it's like, well, okay, so maybe the date syrup is actually okay, but there's different terms for added sugar into a product.
Yeah.
And the food marketers are getting more and more savvy at how to market to people to make these foods feel more appealing to a more health conscious market, right?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I think that if you take refined sugar out of your diet, if you take anything out of your diet, your tolerance is going to go down. When you look at the pleasure trap, sugar, and especially high concentrated sugar, really the syrups and the cane sugars, lights up our brain the way that it creates dopamine release in our brain. So just like somebody who is taking substances that release dopamine or create, that addictive pattern, sugar does the same thing. So when we look at sugar and say, okay, well, why is it when I took sugar out of my diet and then all of a sudden I add it back in accidentally or at some point I have this reaction? It's because your tolerance has gone way down. Right? So your brain and body, it's almost like you get this huge hit of glucose. You maybe had a glucose elevation. It's possible.
Oh, I'm sure I did. I mean, the amount of sugar that was in that, like,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah. And then as a result, your brain recognizes higher glucose levels in your body. Your pancreas starts to go into overdrive to give you more insulin to take that glucose into your cells. You could have ended up on what I like to call the blood glucose roller coaster, which is you have high blood glucose, then you crash down.
Yep.
Then you have to eat something because you feel hungry. And that process can happen over and over again inside of our body. And when we're eating foods that are highly refined and have added sugars that are, refined sugars specifically, our body gets used to that over time, right? And then we need more to get that same effect, and we need more to get that same effect of that dopamine release.
Oh, don't I know it? Don't I know
right.
it? That's a big part of my weight loss talk is like
Sure.
showing the slides of, that dopamine release from using cocaine and eating a donut, it's that NIH study.
Right.
And it's just like, are you kidding me right now? Like, and I love the way that it was summarized is like these processed foods with added sugars act like, substances of abuse.
Yes.
High, rapid absorption rate, and then, you need more and more and more over time to get that high. It's like there's a term with certain drug users called chasing the dragon. You're never going to get the dragon, which was the high that you got on the first time you used it,
Right.
but you're always going to chase and you're going to use more and more and more so that you can try to get there again, but you never will. And I feel food is the exact same way.
Yeah.
And that's how I got up to, 10,000 calories a day.
Right.
Yeah.
I love the way you talk about that and talk about your journey and your experience with it, because there's just so many people out there that are really, where they're seeing these foods and they see it. Like I've even talked about the idea that even health foods, like I have friends that will come to me and say like, what do you think about this bar? Or, what do you think about this thing? And I always say first, are you sure you really want to know my opinion on this?
Do you know who you're talking to?
Well, yeah, because I'm like, well, if I tell you, you might not like me. You might not like the answer. You might not like me anymore either. But I mean,
unfollow.
Hopefully. Yeah, exactly. I know I might get an unfollow from you. But, when you start actually looking at ingredients and food labels, that is one of the best things that you can do for yourself in the grocery store, is start looking at the food labels. And again, as somebody raising a 3-year-old child, who identifies as vegan and is clear on her understanding that she doesn't eat things like animal products. And well, now we get into a whole other conversation of like packaged products, and of course, all these really cool products at her eye level in the grocery store. So she'll come over with a box of something that she sees it, there's chocolate on this. This looks yummy. I want this, mommy. And of course, on the front of the box, I'll see it'll say, oh, fiber, high fiber. And I turn it over and it's like, well, there's 2 grams of fiber from something like a granola bar or something, right? So it's minimal, but that's not high fiber.
We got to get that packaging under control, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then, but on top of it, in the ingredients list, there's tons of sugar. Even if there's some oats involved, but like every other ingredient is a version of sugar.
Yeah.
And so now I've had to add on there's sugar in this, and we're not going to eat that. We're not going to bring that home.
Yeah.
So, we don't bring food home into the house that has those types of ingredients, because as we know, if it's in the house, it'll be in your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to, we're trying to raise awareness and build the concept of intuitive eating comes up a lot in our house, allowing her to have the food she wants to eat, but we identify it as like, is it a sweet food? Is it something crunchy? And then, we offer fruit when she wants something sweet, and we offer something crunchy like carrots or celery with hummus when she wants something crunchy.
Yeah.
So there's ways of approaching parenting.
Yeah.
And looking at, especially starting in the grocery store, looking at your food labels.
Yeah.
There's so many really important things to uncover just before you even bring a food home.
How many grams of fiber do you think she's getting a day? I mean, it's a smaller tummy than you and I,
It's a smaller
obviously.
tummy.
But
I
like
mean,
3-year-old, I mean, clearly she's going to be way above the national average.
I'm sure she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably getting somewhere between 40 and 50 a day.
Wow.
35 to 50 grams a day.
Goals.
Yeah. I
Goals.
mean, yeah, I know.
She's
That's
shattering
goals.
like adults here. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Go, Indy, go.
Yeah, she's.
Go, girl.
I know, right? We're all gonna cheer her along.
For real.
Well, and yeah, and she loves it. I mean, we grow fruit in our backyard. She loves to go out and pick our, we have passion fruits that are on, we're picking right now. We have bananas that are on their way in, like
Y'all have
papayas.
a banana tree?
We have many. We have like 10 banana trees.
Son of a gun.
We have like 8 papaya trees. Oh, we'll send you some papayas and bananas when they're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not
We have
gonna turn
mango
that
trees.
down.
We've got
Why
fig
am I not
trees.
surprised
I know.
in your family? Yeah.
I know. If we didn't have mango trees, there would be something very wrong with that.
True story. We just came back from lunch, and
Yeah.
they had desserts here, a whole food, plant-based, SOS free. But like Indy, instead of eating the cake that the mango was topped on, she just like picked off the mango and ate that. Like, I don't need the cake, just give me the mango.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She loves mango. I know. She is
Unbelievable.
truly her father's daughter.
100%.
Yeah. If there was any
100%.
doubt,
Yeah.
that confirms it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so funny.
All right, so give me, let's get some people some actionable items here as long as we're talking
Yes.
about fiber.
Okay, yes.
What are your favorite fiber sources? Everybody's got their go-tos, right? Now, I'm going to throw a challenge to you. It's easy
Okay.
to just say beans, right?
Oh, yeah.
But no. What kind of bean?
Ooh, red beans for me.
Red beans. eh?
Love red beans.
All right, what about the red bean calls to you?
The red beans are just the flavor of a red bean is like they were on the lunch line today on our buffet, and I was so happy to see them just because the color is so rich. They're a little bit bigger. I feel like they have a great flavor, great texture, and they're also just rich in so many. They're rich in iron, which all beans are rich in iron. Red beans happen to be a little bit higher, so
Right.
that's it's like an extra benefit. We do a lot with red beans at our house.
Cool.
So it's a very versatile bean. It goes with a lot of different things. I love to make stews and soups with like different vegetables, and red beans just go really nicely with most of those.
You do the red beans and rice combo?
Oh,
I
yes.
mean,
Yes.
that's just
All the time.
it goes together so well.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So we're red bean fans here, and Indy she and Cyrus will be seen eating beans out of a can often.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Just
crank
don't
a
even
can.
need a bowl. Just give us the spoon.
Just give us a spoon, can of beans. I have photo proof of that.
I'm sure you
have
do.
the receipts.
I'm sure you do. Proof for it didn't happen. No
Didn't
problem.
happen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She likes the red beans a lot as well, and he really prefers a chickpea. That's his bean of choice,
Right on.
typically.
I saw his plate. He loaded up on the chickpeas.
Oh yeah,
Much. Yeah.
yeah.
Chickpea
He
guy.
probably ran them dry.
I enjoy the chickpea. I like
Yeah.
the roasted chickpeas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're so good.
Great
You
to
season
snack
those
on.
things
Yes.
just right? Oh,
Yeah, excellent.
go-to.
Yeah, and of course beans are a great source of fiber.
Yeah.
They're great. Actually, interestingly, I have done a lot of work with individual people and looking at their food intake over the years. And I really, really love the app called Chronometer.
Big fan. Know it well.
Yeah, okay, good. So I have evaluated Chronometer data for a long time. I've also created a ton of recipes for, making food, making meals that are balanced with looking at the grams of protein, carbohydrate, fiber. Interestingly enough, protein and fiber tend to almost be equal in grams in almost any meal that is SOS free.
Wow.
And it's fascinating to me that they travel together, because that's one thing that beans are very well known for in the plant-based world is their protein, but they actually have a very perfect proportion of protein, carbohydrate, and fat when we're talking about the macronutrients.
Yeah.
So that's in terms of what beans represent in our family, it's like the perfect proportion of macronutrients, and also, like I like to include fiber as a macronutrient. And when protein and fiber tend to be about matched in their grams from all this is where I geek out on that.
Nerd out, girl.
Recipe.
You know who you talking to the exam roomies. Like, we are nothing but nutrition nerds. Geek out.
Okay, so basically the protein and the fiber tend to follow each other. They go along together.
Yeah.
And I've just always found that to be interesting. And if I ever were to go back to school and like study nutrition, I would be very interested to dive deep in that topic. So
If I ever go back to school to study nutrition,
Yeah.
do you? What do you,
I have.
this is what you do for a living. Like, what are you going to learn in school that
I
you
know.
don't already know?
Well, I guess maybe I'll, I guess
You're going to
probably.
get up and teach the class. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, right.
Call out the professor like, no. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Well, it's a really interesting observation. And if you're looking for how do I know what to eat and you're concerned, if you're approaching a plant-based diet and something that you're concerned about, the good news is that fiber and protein travel together. So if you're only looking at your fiber and you're concerned about your protein, just start tracking your fiber and your protein will probably end up being around that amount.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's not 100%.
No.
And fruit's a little different than the vegetables, but like overall, like I said, if you look at like a full day's worth of your meals,
Yeah.
it tends to be pretty even, which is interesting to me.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that because that is like, that's always the huge concern is where are you going to get your protein?
Totally.
I mean,
You get it from your fiber.
Yeah.
Apparently.
There it is. How about that? Who knew?
I know.
Where do you fall in like high protein diet realm? Because I know like Cyrus is jacked. Like dude is
Yeah.
ripped. He's not hurting for protein.
He's not.
It is. And I guess I should ask him when he's on the show. But like, is he supplementing at all with protein powders? Yeah.
He is, but
Okay.
he's also working out at a level that where he's looking to build mass
Yeah.
and build muscle mass.
Yeah.
And he works out. I mean, he was at the gym this morning for like 4 hours playing basketball and working out, lifting
Starting
weights.
at 5 a.m.
Starting at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, the gym is his love language. So he does high intensity, heavy lifting. He is looking to build muscle mass and body mass. That's been his quest for many, many years.
Yeah.
And he is working with somebody specifically to accomplish that. So he's actually working with a trainer, and part of that strategy is by adding more protein powder. So he is using a supplement.
Yeah.
But he has for years because, as it turns out, for people living with type 1 diabetes especially, stabilizing blood glucose in the morning becomes a very challenging strategy. Like there's lots of different things that complicate morning blood glucose. Adding some protein powder to your breakfast meal in the morning can actually help to stabilize your glucose in the morning meal.
Oh, wow.
So we've used that as a strategy while we've coached people over the years as well, specifically for that one meal. And quite frankly, so there is a way to calculate your protein needs.
Yeah.
And for most people, there's a calculation, it's very simple. And for most women who are not bodybuilders or like really hitting the gym like every day of the week with that weight training and mass building in mind,
Yeah.
most women need between 45 to 55 grams per day based on body weight. It's really not an extensive amount. And recently there's been a lot of controversy because the calculation is based on originally it was based on kilograms. So it's like you take your body weight in pounds, convert it to kilograms, which is basically you take like if you're 120 pounds, divide that by 2.2. Not gonna do math.
They said there would be no math.
I know, I wasn't told there would be math. But, and then you multiply that by 0.6, and that's where you get your protein needs, right?
Right.
Now, if you take your body weight in pounds and do that calculation, it's gonna give you a much higher amount of protein, right? Because you're not taking it into the kilogram weight, which is lower.
Right on.
So there's been a lot of conversation in the nutrition world about this lately, especially about protein and how much we need. So my recommendation, and based on dietary recommendations that are sort of standardized, is to take your kilogram weight. If you're your average person going to the gym a couple times a week, use the 0.6 measurement to find out your protein needs.
Right.
And again, most women will fall between 45 to 55 grams per day.
Right on. What's it for us dudes?
Dudes is a little bit higher, like 65 to 70 grams per day. Maybe a little more than that, maybe 75. But then as you age, we also do need a little more protein as we age. So for people over 65, there's recommendations to go up to like a 0.8 per kilogram, right? So it's not exceptionally much more. It would be like, for women, it would be like 55 to 65 grams per day, right? So it's like incremental. And then if you do start really working out and doing some bodybuilding or like more weight, more than body resistance exercise, like that real strength training, that's when you might benefit from adding more protein at that point. And that's where working with somebody who's a health coach, a registered dietitian, somebody that really understands nutrition in the context of bodybuilding or your body mass is it's really helpful to pair with somebody that can help you with that.
I agree. Now, let's talk about fiber-rich protein sources. And as Christopher Gardner has proven, I mean, there is just protein in literally every plant food, But if somebody were really looking to maximize their protein with everything that they eat, what are the ones that they're going to gravitate toward? We already said red beans, so we can't go back there.
No more red beans. Okay.
What else is going on that plate?
Quinoa is going on my plate.
Yep.
Quinoa is a great whole grain has a great protein, is a great protein source. It's a great fiber source,
Big
right?
fan of
Both.
quinoa.
I love
Versatile
quinoa.
grain. That thing will absorb the flavor of
Everything.
whatever. It's
Yes.
like tofu. It's a blank canvas. It'll
Yes.
just absorb whatever flavor you put in there. Yeah, so good.
And as your palate starts to evolve too, I mean, I can eat quinoa by the spoonful plain, and it has that like nutty, rich
Out
flavor.
of a can. They get the beans, you get the quinoa.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great flavor. It's so good. Also, I would add probably some tofu.
Yeah.
I love to air fry my tofu. It gives it that crunchy, crispy. Again, when I think about my bowls that I make, if I were to make a bowl that was like a protein, like F-bomb, the protein F-bomb.
The protein
because it's going to be
F-bomb.
both, remember,
Yeah.
protein and fiber together. So I would say aim for like the texture of the food matters too. So if you're putting quinoa, you're putting beans, they're both soft. Get that crunch of the air fried tofu. Add some greens, either steamed or raw greens. I'll eat a full bag of steamed kale, and you can throw that on with some lemon juice. The protein in greens isn't going to be as high, but the fiber is going to be really high, and you're going to get so much nutrient density in that. And then, any number of other vegetables to really complement that, and even adding. I talk a lot about bowls. We do a lot of bowl prep in our house. We pull out all the things and it's like throw stuff in. Like, what do you have? You got peaches. They're in season right now, right? Whatever's in season. Peaches are in season. Throw some peaches on there. Yeah. Wow. These foods are, the diversity of food that you put in your plate also expands your palate, right? So it's not just about individually getting fiber and protein. It's also expanding how your body is experiencing the food. So adding something sweet to the texture of the tofu, the sense of the steamed kale.
I'm literally thinking, I was like, I bet you peaches would taste amazing with quinoa.
Yes.
Like maybe some like shaved almonds.
Oh yeah, some black pepper.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking.
It's a good.
Let's go. Let's go.
I actually the other day made a bowl. It was like a take on that chickpea chicken salad, that people make with apples. I put peaches in it instead because that's what's in season and that's what we have. And it turned great. It was amazing. Nice. It was amazing. Pretty much same recipe, like dill, pepper. I put Dijon mustard and apple cider vinegar and made a dressing out of it and made like a big bowl of salad, and it was great. And again, just eating seasonally. What's local, what's fresh, what's in season really matters. And just putting those foods together in a way that, makes you feel good and like although maybe it wouldn't make you feel good. Maybe you're like, peaches, huh?
I don't know. Peaches are good. Peaches are good. Man, I haven't had a peach yet this year. That needs to happen. Yeah. Yeah, man.
And pair it with some chickpeas.
Yeah. My peach levels are way down. We got to fill the peach cup back up.
Peach pit. Yes, exactly.
Peach pit. Nice 90210 reference there.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Did you watch the 90210?
Of course I did. Yes. Like way into it.
Right
in fact, that was when I had always wanted to move to California, and I swear part of that was influenced by watching 90210.
Right.
So when I finally had the opportunity to move out there, I was like, okay, I'm coming out. I did not end up in LA, but I was north of there. But
for many men and women. Were you Kelly or Brenda? Who should Dylan have wound up with? I know. We're talking 90210 here on the show.
That was a good one. I know. I don't know. I was always Brenda. It's always Brenda from the beginning.
Right on. May she rest in peace.
R.I.P. Both of them. Dylan and.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
They're both R.I.P. team.
Yeah. Well, let's turn things back around. All right, so we've got lots of F-bombs here. Fiber, protein go together. That's all well and good.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what are you up to these days? You got the big podcast. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I started a podcast this year, and it's been so much fun. I've listened to podcasts for years and years. I love consuming podcast content. It feels really approachable to me. It feels really personal. I love getting to know my podcast hosts that way. And it's sort of like, I listen to a lot of true crime.
So do I. I don't listen to like
nutrition.
plant-based No.
Yeah. I listen to you. Yes.
Right.
Thanks.
No, you don't. But that's okay. Do you?
I do.
Do you really?
I really do.
Wow.
And I recommended. Yes, I listen because I make recommendations to you of your podcast to my clients.
Oh, thank you.
So,
okay.
While you're exercising, listen to the exam room because that's a big. Because having the information in your ear is so valuable, right? We hear things differently than we read them, or So, but anyway, I do listen to true crime, and so do you.
Big fan.
What's your favorite?
There were two, that really got me into the genre. Diana Rossini, who now writes for The Athletic, but was with ESPN for a long time. She turned me on to Serial when that thing was first blowing up. Very good.
Yep.
And then I also fell in love with the series called Up and Vanished.
Oh.
Which was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to that one.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something to binge right now.
Yeah, so it's
caught up.
I'm not sure that Up and Vanished is still being published, but go back and listen to the archives.
Okay.
Man, it is good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Well, which ones do you recommend?
Oh my gosh. My favorite murder
Ooh.
is.
Isn't that like one of the super popular ones?
It's super popular. It started in 2016. They blew up. They're comedian. They are two female comedians. They're really raising awareness about more about, unfortunately, how people can become victimized by predators. So, which is, but they tell it through storytelling.
Okay.
And they've just grown so much. And I listened to them from the very beginning. And again, sort of undertaking my own podcast, I was like, oh, I've seen how much they've grown and developed over the years. And I just think that's really exciting. And I also listened to Morbid, which is another really popular podcast. It's two sisters that started a podcast together.
Cool.
And so I had actually started my podcast with a woman named Lauren Plunkett, who you've met.
Lauren.
You know Lauren. Yeah. Lauren and I started together. And basically with that idea in mind of kind of that friends conversation about health and wellness, holistic health and wellness. It's a plant-based podcast. She's a plant-based dietitian.
Yep.
And she and I just are trying to bring some dynamic conversation to the table, what women are dealing with on a day-to-day basis, what people are facing, going out in the world. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been really fun undertaking, learning the podcasting world and also just putting my voice out there a little bit. As a coach, I've been coaching people for over 8 years now. I have a long history in healthcare and I've learned some things, and it's just really neat to have a place where I can put my voice and maybe offer some support to somebody who is looking for support at a time that maybe they're struggling with something. People are struggling. A lot of people are struggling with something.
A lot.
We're all struggling with something.
Yeah.
And as a coach, I've developed some strategies that I'm sharing. So there's a lot of how-tos. I did a whole episode on just how to approach an intermittent fast. What are the hurdles? What are the struggles? What's the mindset? How do you get over the mindset of that? Because it's a wonderful practice. It's really great to add into any dietary approach, right? Any strategy of life. It's a ritual. It's really it can be a really positive thing, but the idea of restricted eating can feel very overwhelming for people. Mm-hmm. So we address that. So I just have a lot of tips and tools and tricks, and it's been a lot of fun to kind of put it down. So so that's one of my projects.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. We'll put a link to that in our show description for you. Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And if you ever want a guest,
oh my gosh,
come on.
Love to have you. That would be amazing.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Come on, the Green Glow podcast,
volunteer
Green Glow
lifestyle.
lifestyle.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
we'd love to have you, and especially for storytelling, because you have such a depth in your background and your story, and what you've been through, and I think that you're so relatable to people, and that's. The storytelling is one of the elements of the podcast I'd love to start to do more of.
Yep.
And bring people on who have actually walked the walk and gone through their own lifestyle journey and change and are thriving on the other side of it. So
I'll give you the secret.
Oh,
the
tell me.
The secret is to blend storytelling with facts at the same time.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
So people hang on to the story, but the facts stick better if it's a good story.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Dynamic guests like yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Or hosts.
Or hosts, co-hosts.
So,
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
no
that tip.
problem.
Oh my gosh.
No worries.
Learning the ropes here.
That's a free one.
Thank you.
Second one's going to cost you.
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, look, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you're at a point where you can talk about what might be coming up, or everything else is just kind of?
Well, no, yeah, Cyrus and I also have launched we launched Evolution Health this year.
Okay.
And that was really exciting. We have dreamed of building something together, the two of us, for many years. And we have a coaching platform. And Evolution Health is really about diving deeper into what's really at the root of our bodies in terms of disease processes and things like that, cellular wellness, longevity, inflammation, basically being able to cast a little bit of a wider net and help people who maybe are feeling like they want to approach a plant-based diet and don't have the tools to do it, but they would like the science and the support. So
y'all are taking clients now? They can sign
we
up
are.
and do the program?
Yeah.
Wow.
Come sign up with us.
Where
Come
have I
work with
been?
me.
Yeah.
Evolution. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll
Evolution
put
Health.
that link down below
I
too.
would love that. Thank you.
Is it evolutionhealth.com?
It's actually evolution-health.co.
C-O.
Oh yeah. We're just like we're it's much more efficient than to just drop the M.
Right.
Right? We're all about efficiency here.
Right.
We have to like really optimize. We're raising a 3-year-old. Just drop the M.
Just drop.
.co.
Do you know how many keystrokes you're saving?
That's right.
Per year if we would just
No
drop
more.
the M?
That's right.
I
Yeah.
mean, come on, think about it. How many websites does an average person visit in a day? Dozens.
See? Dozens.
Right? Yeah.
All those microseconds right back
We should start a
to start
campaign.
calculating your fiber
Save
intake.
the M.
Save the M. Oh yeah.
This is the dumbest conversation ever. It's so stupid. I love this show so much. It's so good. Don't edit, man. No way. This is staying in. This is so good. F-bombs and drop the M, man.
Yeah,
We're good.
drop the M.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dropping
we did.
F-bombs and dropping M.
Well, in the URL world, you got to find what works.
Right on. Well, here's what I do know. Like, jokes aside, like, you and Cyrus are two of the most knowledgeable people in this space that I've ever met.
Thank
and
you.
so anybody who works with you is a lucky individual.
Thank you.
And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to be here and letting your daughter play and letting your husband play.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They're having a great time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much for having me, and it's just been such an honor. So thank you.
My pleasure. Way to drop some F-bombs today, Kylie.
Yeah, F-bombs.